Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Nidhi and you're watching my series on how to become a cabin crew. And surprisingly, today's video is actually about how to become a cabin crew. Because a lot of you have been sending me a lot of messages on my Instagram and my Facebook, basically asking me what should you do if you want to become a cabin crew with a local airline or even with an international airline. So I'm going to tell you step by step what exactly do you want or need to do if your dream is to become a cabin crew. Now, first and foremost, you have to understand that there's certain requirements to become a cabin crew, and I have made a separate video. You can go ahead and check that out, where I've talked about what are those certain requirements if you want to become a cabin crew. But even before you get to those requirements, what exactly do you need to do? What is the application process? And everything that is small or big that you need to make sure of, I'm gonna talk about it in this video today. So first and foremost, what you really need to do is go ahead and find out which are the airlines that are basically operating in your country, which are the airlines that basically hire from your country, and accordingly go ahead and Google them. So Google the airlines that basically come to hire from your particular country. For example, Singapore Airlines hire crew from India, they hire crew from Japan, they hire crew from Korea, they hire crew from Hong Kong. Qatar Airways hires crew from a lot of different places, including India, a lot of places in Europe. Emirates does a lot of hiring from Singapore and a few other places in Europe. So first and foremost, you basically need to go ahead and find out what are the airlines or which are the airlines that are operating in your country, or for that matter of fact are operating internationally but do hire from your country, and that information is definitely available on Google. All that you need to do is go ahead and research. Once you've done that, you can go ahead and find out if that particular airline is actually interviewing in your country anytime soon. So if you go onto the website of Singapore Airlines, it clearly tells you which all countries basically are they currently hiring from, and they also tell you when are the interviews and what are the dates. Similarly, look up for Qatar Airways and you'll be able to find that information. And for that matter of fact, if you're looking for a local airlines which is in your country itself, you can go ahead and do the same thing. Go ahead and Google it. And again, this information is available on the website itself. You do not have to go ahead and search it on any other place, because most airlines actually list the job opportunities if they are going to interview in a particular country on their website itself. So what all of us do out here for you guys as Instagrammers and YouTubers is every day we actually go on these websites and we look up for job opportunities, and that's exactly how we tell you that these particular airlines are basically hiring in your country, and you can go for the interview. So a lot of people who keep asking me that this particular job opportunity is listed on this particular website, should I go ahead and apply? My reply to all of you would be most airlines list the job opportunities on the website itself, so you do not have to go through any agency in particular to go ahead and apply for those interviews. However, there are certain dedicated agencies which are in collaboration with the airline itself, who takes care of that process for the airline, and that is why they are listed on their website itself. So for example, if you look up on this job opportunity which is posted by Singapore Airlines for the cabin crew they're recruiting in China, they go through a particular agency and an online portal where you basically go ahead and submit your application. And if you look up for Jet Airways, for example, they specifically mention that you do not have to go through any agency, you do not have to pay any fees to anybody, because these are considered fraudulent agencies. But if there is an agency which is telling you to go ahead and just pay a fees for appearing in the interview or appearing for the interview, then my take on this would be that you shouldn't really waste your money unless you really think that it is a genuine agency, because of course there are recruitment agencies which does a lot of recruitment, not just for the airlines but a lot of different positions in corporate world as well, and cabin crew recruitment is also considered one of the recruitment. So there are recruitment agencies that do actually does this kind of work for the airline. So the third thing, now that you know that this particular airline is hiring, what you really need to do is go ahead and find out what is the eligibility criteria, because again, a lot of you basically ask me, if my height is this much, if my weight is this much, if my educational qualification is this much, should I go ahead and apply for this particular interview? Now again, in all honesty, my answer to all of you always have been, go ahead and look up for the requirements on the website itself. All the requirements are listed on the website itself. What is the minimum age, if there is a maximum age, what is the height criteria, what is the weight criteria, what is the educational criteria. You can go ahead and look it up on the website itself. And if you think that based on the requirements that are listed on the website, you are eligible to go for the interview, by all means, go for the interview. We'll talk about the medical perspective of the interview in another video, although I have made a video where I've talked about what are some of the medical rounds that most companies or most airlines engage in when they hire you as a cabin crew. But these are some of the initial requirements that you have to meet. We're going to talk about the scars and the tattoos and the eyesight and stuff like that in a later video, but let's just concentrate on the basic requirements at this point in time. Now, if this is okay, the number 4 thing that you need to do is basically find out whether this particular airline is doing a walk-in interview, or this particular airline is doing a shortlisted interview. So there are different kind of interviews that different airlines engage in. Again, a lot of airlines do walk-in interviews, open day assessments, where they basically tell you that this is the day that we're conducting an interview. If you meet the following requirements, please go ahead and come to the interview with with the documents that are mentioned below. But some airlines basically want you to fill up an online application form, and on the basis of the online application form, they shortlist the candidates, and then they basically send you an email. 5, you need to find out if all the documents that particular airline need you to bring for the day of the interview, you have them or not. So a lot of people, again, they tell me that they don't have the passport, they don't have the original documents. Can they still go for the interview? Again, go for the interview even if you don't have all these documents with you, because you can, I've made a separate video where I've talked about if you do not have a passport, what you should do. And even if you don't have certain original documents with you, at least go for the interview. Let them know that you're here for the interview, and they can guide you accordingly as to what would be the next step. Certain airlines don't accept, certain airlines do accept. So if you can get the forms in order before your interview, that's fantastic. But even if you can't get them, go for the interview, and then let the interviewers decide what is the next best thing to do. They will guide you accordingly. And this is the most crucial thing. Now that you know that this particular airline is hiring, you know that you meet the requirements, you're ready to go for the walk-in interview, or you've submitted your online application, you've made sure that you have your documentation ready. The number 6 thing that you need to do basically is prepare yourself for that big day, which is your interview day. Now, I've made a lot of videos where I've talked about how you can prepare yourself, what are the interviewers looking for in terms of your body language, in terms of your communication, in terms of question answers. Please go ahead and watch those videos, and of course, if you want to do any sort of personalized preparation, I do offer personal coaching. You can go ahead and check out my website where I do offer group classes and also one-on-one coaching. You can get in touch with me and I'll be more than happy to coach and guide you. So these are the steps that you need to take to basically become a cabin crew. So I really hope this video answers that question that a lot of you ask me all the time: how can I become a cabin crew? So go ahead and follow these steps, and in the meantime, if you still haven't subscribed to my channel, go ahead and do that. Please press the notification bell for more video updates, and all of you out there, stay pretty, stay handsome, and I love you guys. Bye.